that I'm trying to um, uh, uh, release here. And that's your barometer on how you're doing.
Right.
Happiness. Are you happy? Ask
Yes.
yourself that question. Next thing is, if you're not, what? Okay, you write those lists. What would you change to make you happy?
Right. It's very, very true. And what would you say to somebody who, let's say, came from an inner city childhood, and so they're sitting here listening to this and saying, well, that's great. You're sitting here in Marina Del Rey, people are cleaning boats, walking by, waiters, whatever. Life is just going on over here pretty nice. Easy for you to say. But what about someone who's sitting there going, I can't pay the rent. I'm stressed out. I have so many kids and so many bills, and the world is in crisis. How can I follow this when I'm barely surviving just the basic, need to get electricity in the house or whatever?
The first thing is you have to change who you are. You have to now take responsibility for who you are. It's either now or later.
Does that also mean for where you're at?
Exactly. For where you're at right now, you can change that by simply absorbing information. You have to re-educate yourself. You have to now look at what you've been doing to this point got you into this frustrated area. So obviously you need to change that. How you're going to change that is by absorbing more information, knowledge, and that's the key to taking responsibility for yourself.
I'm only laughing because it's just unfortunate that we're now at a time where people don't want to read anymore. The idea of getting knowledge, it has to be quick, fast, and on the internet or something like that. And nothing's wrong with it. But unfortunately, being able to go and sit on and read a book is, when do people do that anymore?
Well, knowledge you can acquire knowledge through so many ways.
That's true.
It's not just through reading. And actually, I acquired a lot of my knowledge through actual doing.
There's a lot to be said about that.
Right, so now you're just going, and first of all, accepting the fact that if there is another human doing it, you can do it.
True.
The minute you say, well, I can't do that because I didn't have, and you fill in the blanks.
Let's look at Obama. He's president.
Okay.
He didn't say that.
Right. The whole fact is by taking responsibility for yourself, is saying, if there is another human doing it, you can do it. You're just as human as they are, but what's the difference between you and them?
So then the answer lies in the simple question that people keep on going back to is not being a victim. But people that I've met, and they say, but you just don't get it. It's easy for you to say, but then you don't live the life I do. You don't have the bills. How do I possibly change my way of thinking and be when I can't even take a moment to take a breath and move forward?
The simple thing is release your fear and throw all that aside. Dump it. Release your fear.
I love it. But will they do it?
That's totally, if you release your fear, it's predicated on whether you're ready to take the next step.
Sure.
If you just take that next jump, you can only go, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? Are they going to kill you?
Well, I think the people's biggest fear today on an average is that they take a risk. They may not have a job. They can't stand their boss. They're rude. They're whatever. I'm getting so many comments that people are making with the stress management today is, how do I deal with my boss? I'd quit any other time in the world, but they know I have to take this job because I have kids. I have, limited amount of jobs out there right now. So then what would you suggest?
It's still the same thing.
Still fear.
It's still fear. It's what you're saying is you're afraid not to do. And what you do now is when you take fear is your road for your solutions, you cut off the universe.
Right. It's true.
The universe is constantly trying to send you messages, which you shut down long ago when you decide what road to take. You decided whether to take the earth experience, which is pretty much a physical world, tangible world, or instead of the universal world, which is guided to you by more of a spiritual world and spiritual aids and people of all types of powers that will assist you in this. Which you could call them angels, but when you decide to take that universal road, there's a whole other it's a whole other wormhole that you're going to go through, but you have to decide to take the journey.
Right. Exactly. Now, that's wonderful, and I'm trying to see if there's any more time for us to talk more about this. And looks like we're getting close to the end of the show that we can do. And I just want to really thank you, because there's so many people out there today who are living in fear, and they don't see an end, and they don't see a way out. And I think what you're sharing with people is an opportunity to really just change their mind and change their way of life.
It's true. I would love that I'll leave you with a parting statement is everyone wants to party. And the issue is the more people that can party, the grander the party.
Oh, that's good.
You can't party by yourself.
Right.
So, I mean, we're sitting here basically right here in the marina right now. There's no one around because they got themselves stuck in those environments of which they're grinding away, which they don't have to. I want to help people get out there and say, hey, come and join the party.
I love that. That's a great attitude. It's a great way to live. And I hope whoever is out there watching this is understanding the meaning of which this work is done, which is to help you to have the best life in this human experience as possible. And we'll see you next. JoyceAlexander.com. Bye for now, and thanks again for being here.